viewing the world, like your perspective on things, like you really only have your singular perception on what you're viewing. And like it's hard to, I guess, get to a sense where you are at pure awareness unless you can detach from your own perspective, right? And I think that when you were talking about like the Sons of God community, how you have like these group of people where they're all sharing their own perspective, right, of the overall perception of like what the world truly is. And it enforces the ability, or actually strengthens the ability for you to like detach from your own perspective, right? And I think that actually can lead you to a higher sense of self. Because I wrote this down too, is like if you are only stuck in your own perception, or if you get stuck in your own perception of reality, that basically becomes your identity. And then what ends up happening is you the longer you stay stuck in that identity, you have a harder time detaching in general. And I think a lot of people struggle with that. So yeah.
Yeah, and these identities become weights. They become
Hmm.
baggage. And over time, if you're stuck to an identity, let's say, for example, you only like a particular kind of women, particular
Hmm.
kind of woman, and then God wants to bring you this woman, maybe God wants to bring you your wife, but you're so stuck in the identity of like only liking women who are 5 foot, and they have to have a particular kind of personality, and they have to be into the same things you're into. It's like God's trying to give you this gift. He's trying to expand your consciousness, your horizons, give you something beautiful, but you're not
Hmm.
ready to receive it because you're still stuck in an old paradigm, in an old frame of reference. So it is very, very powerful to be around other people to challenge you, to draw you out of your smaller identity and expand you into a bigger one. 100%.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think the biggest thing about challenging someone is what it does is it almost like forces you to humble you. Like it humbles you. So like an example of this I think about all the time is people that get into like mixed martial arts, right? Like you have people that are like, let's say they're like, PhD doctors, or like they've been in school their whole life, or they're very versed in whatever field they're like a professional at. These people go into like mixed martial arts, and it teaches them more about life than anything they could ever do, because it puts them to a level of humility and openness where it literally detaches them from themselves at a very intense rate. And I
Mm.
think that when you challenge someone to do something, you get you get to see the person's reaction too, because like some people, if they're really attached to their identity or their ego, their first reaction will be like, well, it's almost like they become like reclusive or repulsed by the sense of challenge, right? A
Yeah.
person that is humble, they look at it in a sense of openness, and their mind is already starting to figure out like, okay, how can I do this? Like they're open to the possibility of it happening for them. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think challenge is a big one, a huge one. So
So this journey of SR, I want to know, how has it been challenging you in terms of your old identity? How has it been calling you into a higher version of yourself? What parts of your personality have you had to let go of?
I would say just being seen a certain way, like wanting to be an image that people see, like almost like I'm like an image that I want people to see, instead of just being my authentic self, right? And in a video that I made, I recently I discussed like how SR is like a training ground for power, and how basically when you're on this path, what it does is it literally it just exposes you. It exposes you to yourself. And what you have to do is you have to accept the parts of yourself that you're uncomfortable with. And for me, what that has allowed me to do is I just feel more authentic in my own skin. Like I don't think about how other people are thinking of me, you know? And I think another thing would be impulse control. Like it's really helped me with my impulses. I used to have a really big issue with just, being a whim to whatever I felt. Like whatever I wanted to do, I just did. I didn't really think about it too much. So impulse control was a big one for me. I would also say it's also taught me just how to be more disciplined with every action that I take, being more present. Um, I had a really bad problem with anxiety, so just constantly being in like the future frame of thought, and it really got me to just sink down to the present and be like, okay, nothing else matters but the present moment. Like with anything that you do. So if you are not present with yourself, nothing is going to work its way for you for the betterment of your life or for anyone else's life that's around you. So,
So you mentioned being who you are, being authentic, not being who you thought people wanted you to be.
hmm
Who did you think people wanted you to be? Who were you trying to be before this?
um, I would say a person that, well, basically someone that was perfect,
Yeah.
someone that didn't make mistakes, someone that, um, basically, yeah, like just being like perfection, like not messing up on anything. I would say when I was younger, growing up, I was always a bigger kid. So, like, basically, people saw me more as like an athlete or like, someone that was just good at sports or just good fit physically. And what that basically molded me to be was just like that big macho guy that, played sports. I guess you know, just like this big alpha masculine person, and like I'm just like Tanner, like I'm just who I am, right? So like I just kind of had to drop that and just start being who I was and who I really am. So yeah, just like someone that's always being perfect all the time. So that was a big one that I had to drop.
And what about in the context of women?
Yeah, so like I would say in terms of the identity I had to drop with women is just that's kind of a tricky one for me. Um I don't really know actually. Like you asked that question, it kind of opens me up a little bit more. I think just being the perfect guy, I guess. Like, dropping that like I'm not perfect, I'm a human being, I make mistakes,
Mm,
and really really diving into that because I think guys that try to act that way where they try to be perfect or not make mistakes, it comes off as being almost like you're attached to the relationship and you're not actually like setting boundaries with yourself or your partner. And when you're not setting boundaries, basically what happens is your partner loses that attraction to you because there's nothing to you. Like there's no like we're not doing this. I know what I'm doing to like it's just there is no space
mm,
between you two,
yeah.
you know? So
Can you tell us a bit about one of your and the purpose of this video is to open each other up, challenge each other, and share that with other people,
mhm.
other brothers. Can you tell us about one of your relationships, whatever one first comes to mind, where you've actually felt yourself doing that, being perfect Tanner, right? Being perfect Tanner, and
Yep.
how that affected her, how that affected your relationship.
Yeah, so there was one relationship that I was in for a short period of time. Um, one of the first relationships I actually got into. And basically what I did was anytime this person would ask for my attention or wanted to do something, I dropped all my plans and like did everything she wanted to do. Became super available. Like if we ever wanted to go out to eat or go buy some or like just go out and have fun, I always, bought anything I could to make sure that she knew that I was trying to provide for her, all this stuff. And I tried to say the right things. I was just in my head. Like I was just in my head trying to do what she thought I would want her to like about me.
Yeah.
And yeah, just honestly just being in my head the whole time, always catering to what she wanted. And then what ended up happening is the relationship ended. And I'll be even more vulnerable with this because this is what drove me on this path. She sent me a text one day, and this was after the relationship ended because I asked her, I said, "So, like, what did I do wrong? Like, I want to know what I did." And she just said, "I need someone that can lead." That's what she said to me. And when she said that, it it hit me in a really, really deep spot because I was like, I know I'm that person deep down. Like, that's who Tanner is. And so that really lit a fire under me. And I kind of told myself, like, I'm figuring this shit out because I'm not going to live the rest of my life this way. It's not going to happen. And my life I am starting to live that now. It's taken over every aspect of my life. I mean, my job, the relationships I have with other people, and a relationship I'm in right now with a specific woman that I'm with. And it is like such a different thing for me. And it's like, I hope every man can experience what that's like to be truly authentic and to lead with a sense of like sovereign power and authority, and it not being like a tyrannical power, right? Like it's not like I'm telling you what to do or else. It's like you're trying to guide someone in the right direction, and if that person can't see your perspective on what you're trying to do with them, that person is probably not meant for you. And God's like, "Yep, this is just an experience for you to understand that, this isn't meant for you, and um better things are on the horizon." So, yeah.
That's awesome, brother. Really
Yeah,
felt
thank you.
really felt that when you said, yeah, she needs someone who can lead. That hit me.
Mhm.
So tell us, in your current relationship, you're on SR. You're
Mhm.
basically on a whole new level of superhuman right now. Probably she's never experienced someone like this before. Tell me, what's the area of vulnerability now? You're on the cutting edge of your own growth right now. What's the area of, I guess, the triggers she's bringing up for you now? The vulnerabilities she's touching on. Like, what is that for you at the moment?
I would say the vulnerability is very high. I mean, I'm basically an open book with her. I tell her the things that I want, the things that I desire in a relationship. I ask her what she desires in a relationship. Um, the communication is at a whole different level. Like it's almost as if that I don't even need to say much to her. Like the energy transfer is just there. Like when I want to do something, or if I want her to do something, or if she wants me to do something, there's like an energy exchange, and we can feel that with each other. Um, the vulnerabilities that I'm working towards with her that I had to experience with my previous relationships is more so the providing aspect, not trying to over provide or over give, because when you do that, it's basically signaling that your time has no value or you have no value. Like it's like it becoming a transactional relationship, like a transactional. I'm giving you money and she's giving me time, right? And that's not what you want. You want it to be when you're with each other, you're grateful for each other's time, but you also understand that your time has a lot of value too. And
Yeah.
the thing is my time does have value. Like my life is growing at a very fast rate. I can't spend every waking hour with her. And I told her this. Like I remember I was sitting down with her. I'm like, hey, like I want to tell you something. Like my life is growing extremely fast, and I don't know if I can give you exactly what you want with what I'm giving you right now. And she said, no, like, I understand you're busy. Like, she understands that I'm doing a lot of stuff, right? And I
Mm,
think every man wants that. They want to hear a woman say, I understand your time has value and I'm giving you space to do what you need to do. Not
mm.
like, not clinging to you either. You know what I'm saying? So,
And
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 that's
she's
how you
there to
lead.
support you.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep, absolutely. But yeah, man, it's just been awesome. Like it's such a powerful tool. Like if you if anyone's watching this right now and has really had a trouble with just having that sense of authority over yourself, like that sovereign power, get on this path immediately. Just like jump into it. Don't even think about it. Get out of your head. Jump in and commit yourself to it. You know, that's the challenge. Jump in. So,
100%. I've never experienced anything that has given me this level of integrity within myself, this level of self-respect. And the crazy thing is, as soon as you respect yourself, everyone else respects you just by default. I
mhm,
struggled with self-respect for so long because I had this habit which was eating me from the inside, not just jerking off, but actually being a pervert. That's that's
mhm,
that's essentially what you are. We have elevated being a pervert in our society to the point where it's like it's praised in men. It's actually seen as highly masculine to be a pervert. But I'm calling it out for what it is right now. You're being a pervert, bro. Like if you're
can I?
gawking at women, if you're walking around the streets and your attention is being sucked out of your body and
Mhm,
pulled into every hoe that's walking past, and you can't even keep your attention within yourself, bro. You're enslaved to lust, and you're a perv, and
mhm.
it's not masculine. That's very weak.
Yeah, and you know what's funny is I have to tell you this because it's crazy how it gets ingrained in you at a young age. I remember when I was going to middle school, right? And I I had a crush on this girl. There's a really attractive girl that went to my school when I was younger. She's very just a beautiful woman, right? And there was no perverse thoughts in my mind. Like I just didn't I did not see her in a perverse way. And then what's funny is you hang around a certain group of people and they say certain things all the time and you just think that that's how you should act because the group is acting that way. And then you take on traits that these people have and then what happens is when you start acting in accordance with the group, you get accepted, right? So you're almost ingraining that perversion in your brain from how other people see women and how you think you should view them, right? And I think that well, what you touched on is like it's idolized in society, but the world is run by the ego. So the ego is all about keeping you safe. And, you know, a part of that is like being accepted into a group. So what the group wants, you adopt, even if it's not actually what you want. And once you detach yourself from the group, you just become seen. I swear to God, it's like you get on this path, you gain your self-respect, and it's like people just like gawk at you. They gawk at you. Like it's the complete opposite. I'll tell you a story today. This just happened to me today. I got a coffee at Starbucks today, right? And there's this girl at the front window. She must not get a lot of guys that like will just look her in the eyes, right? Just having a conversation. This girl was mystified. Like she was like she had a hard time speaking. She's just like, "Thank you so much." Like it was just it's so real, bro. It's just so real. They can feel it. It's an energy you bring. It's a frequency of authenticity. And people around you can feel it. And people get intimidated by it. Guys get intimidated by it a lot. I mean, they just it's like that they get tense. You can feel the tenseness, the tense energy. So,
Yeah, actually, I've been experiencing very similar stuff. Just last night at the gym, right?
yeah.
I'm there doing my squats, start doing some split squats, getting real deep, and this dude just comes up and he's like, "Oh, sorry to interrupt you, man." I was like, "No, all good." And
Mhm.
I could see that he was training with this girl, couple of rows over, and he's like, "I just want to say, man, you have the most amazing glutes." And I'm like, "Oh no, is this dude hitting on me?" Uh, and I was like, "Oh, thank you, man." Just flowed with it. And
Yeah.
he's like, "Yeah, yeah, man. I was just watching you do those squats, and I was like blown away. And I'm trying to get my glutes big, but far out, man, got craziest glutes, blah, blah, blah. And we just keep talking. And I was like, well, brother, all you got to do is you got to eat a lot and you got to train really hard. And he's like, yeah,
Yep.
man, my biggest challenge has been consistency, da da da. And we're talking about food. And we get through all that. And then I was like, you want to know what the real secret is, though, man? You want to know the real secret? You could go your whole life and no one could tell you this. So pay attention to what I'm about to tell you right now. And he leans in and he's like, what is it? And I was like, semen retention. Just fully like,
And he's probably like, "Oh fuck, we got one of these guys." Like I could just see like the mindset, like, "Okay, bro, like semen
well,
retention, got it."
he'd never heard of it. He was a younger guy. He's probably in his early 20s. Probably, I highly doubt he'd ever heard of it. And he's like, what do you mean? And I was like, you just hold your nut. You just never let go of your nut. And he's like, oh, what, really? And I was like, yeah, man, it's your reproductive power. If you keep on releasing it, you're going to get weak. If you hold it, it's going to make you strong. Everything's going to get better. You're going to become more confident. You're going to become way stronger at the gym. You're going to be more attractive to women because they can sense that you've got your reproductive power inside of you. You haven't been wasting it. And he's like, oh, man. And I said, do it for 30 days. 30 days. Trust me. Try it for 30 days. You will not know yourself. I could stand here telling you about diet. I could tell you about this, that, the other, all this other stuff people talk about when they go to the gym. But I'm telling you, SR is the foundation. And he kind of like, he looked like really blown away actually, because he'd never heard anything like that before. And he's like, oh, I think I'll have a hard time because I'm with a girl. He pointed back to his girlfriend. I was like, nah, man, your girlfriend will love it. She will love it. Trust me. So,
Bro, it's real.
yeah, just like red pilled the shit out of this guy. But if he actually follows through, crazy things are going to happen for him. But he was just attracted to my energy. That's what I'm saying. He was pulled into my field. I'm just there doing my squats. And he actually he took it upon himself to come across the room and start talking to me, to give me a compliment out of nowhere with his girlfriend there. You know what I mean? Like, and this kind of shit happens all the time.
Yeah, that I have a similar story. So I've gone on streaks in the past, right? Like I track my streaks, right? Because it's just I want to grow. I want to elevate myself. Like if I went on a streak in the past that's like 50 days, I want to do 60 or 70. Like that's my next goal, is to go farther each time. There was one streak I went on where I was at the gym, and yeah, like the gains were crazy. Like weight was just going up like 5 or 10 pounds a week or every other session. It was just unbelievable. It just felt like I was just like in the gym, like getting after it every single day. And I was playing college sports at the time as well, so like the testosterone was just extremely high. But I remember I was doing like tricep push downs, right? And the gym's pretty packed at the time. Like, guys are doing upper body stuff. I mean, like I work out at like a physique gym, so it's pretty packed usually. And I remember I'm just sitting there working out, and these 3 guys come up to me, and they're just like, they just start talking to me out of nowhere. Like I'm locked into my set, and they're just like, this guy brings up a discussion. I remember this, the most random question. He's like, bro, you're jacked as shit, but I got a question for you. He's like, what? And I'm not making this up. He goes, what weighs more, a pound of rocks or a pound of feathers? And I'm sitting there like, bro, I'm trying to like work out here, and you're gonna ask me a question like this in the middle of my set? Like I'm just like, what the fuck? But anyways, it's just like, I think what's interesting about that is like he felt so comfortable in that space when all these guys are pumping iron. He felt like he could just relax in my frame and ask me a question like that. I noticed that. I was like, he feels comfortable to ask me that question. There were other dudes that were there. They're just like tense. It's like that anxious energy. When you're training, you get yourself in that state of mind where it's like that fight or flight. But for me, I train hard, but I just don't feel like I'm in a threat for my life. It's kind of weird. Like I'm just training to improve myself, but I also train really hard. And so approached by men, women, it's real, bro. You become a magnet.
100%.
You become a magnet. So
100%. So, brother, we wanted to talk about letting go. You brought up that topic, and it's really relevant right now to a lot of brothers, because we are gaining so much energy, right? And all this excess energy is bringing up, I'm not even going to say excess energy, I'm going to say true energy, because we are meant to have more energy than most of us have. It's bringing up
Mhm.
powerful emotions. It's bringing up traumas. It's bringing up rage, frustration, self-hate, sadness, sometimes jealousy, sometimes, all these old emotions we've carried around for so long. Tell me, what's your journey of letting go so far, and how do you deal with these intense emotions and situations that come up on SR?
Yeah, so I would say that I have moments where I have like intense, it's not necessarily frequency, but it's like I have intense short moments of like emotional outbursts that I'm experiencing in my body. And what I tell myself is I get myself in a mental frame to where I literally tell myself this is a test. Like in that moment, like you are being tested right now. Can you handle more power? Because that's what it is. The universe is literally telling you in that moment, I'm going to grant you what you want, but before I grant you what you want, you have got to handle this test that I'm going to give to you right now. Um, I also think, well, I also know too that like your emotions are fleeting, impulses are fleeting, they don't last. And you just have to sit with it. Just sit with it. Be a rock. I think of it as like diamonds are formed under pressure. Like become a diamond, like you are a diamond, you are that, like every man is that. And to accept that challenge, I look at it as a challenge. I really do. It's like I'm trying to beat myself. I'm trying to beat myself every single day. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna wake up and I know that test is gonna come out of nowhere because God does that to you. He'll just, you're least expecting it. Like you're doing your you're doing your daily routine. Like your day could be going amazing, by the way, and all of a sudden it's like just bomb drop out of nowhere. And you're like, why am I feeling this right now? Like everything's been going good today. I've been on top of my disciplines. Like I feel good, and all of a sudden it's like intense impulsive lust, like just intense, like rooted into your pelvis pretty much. Like it just sits there,
Mm,
and then you sit down and you stop. Like you just stop. What's interesting is the way I'm speaking right now is how I talk to myself. So if I speak kind of intense or passionately, it's because it's how I talk to myself in my head. Is you just stop and you tell yourself you're fine. Like you're okay. Nothing is wrong right now. You're just being tested. Like how are you going to handle it? Are you going to bitch out pretty much, or are you going to face it? Like it's, you have a choice. You have a choice. You're not a slave to your impulses. Like um and you need to talk to yourself that way. Some people, they gotta, like, some people have certain ways they talk to themselves that calm them down. But at the end of the day, it's like sometimes you got to make a decision here and now. You got to commit yourself to the decision here and now. Don't give yourself time. Don't give yourself the space to make the wrong decision. You have your instincts. If your instinct says, I got to stop doing this, I got to get out of this frame of mind, calm down, relax. You're not going to die, and just feel, feel it,
yeah,
you know? So, yeah.
that's it. Just feel it. That's all it is. That's what
Yep.
letting go is.
Yeah. Yeah, I think another thing too with like when people get these feelings, these emotional or the intense emotional reactions or triggers, or they get like these fits of anger or jealousy or lust or whatever. It's interesting because now that I think about it even more, it's almost like you're experiencing what a tantrum of a toddler, right? Because like when a toddler gets like an emotional outburst, they get mad, they want something, and it's completely uncontrolled. When you're an adult, you're managing that where it's like you have these intense emotions, but you have to manage those. But if you can see it in that light, it's like, okay, I'm not a fucking kid. I'm a grown man. I can handle this shit. I'm gonna be okay. You know what I mean? So yeah.
And
Hmm.
it's It's really, like you said, I love what you said about the universe giving you more power. God is
Mhm.
giving you more power. And like a toddler has these intense emotional outbursts because they're learning how to handle emotions.
Mhm.
We're learning how. And these superpowers, if we don't let ourselves process them, the energy, feel the energy, sit with the energy, allow ourselves to be reconditioned, upgraded. The energy is so intense because it's upgrading your nervous system.
Mhm.
It is
Absolutely, bro.
literally upgrading your electrical system is being upgraded, right?
Mhm.
It's like when you're a teenager and your bones hurt. It's because your bones are getting longer. They're lengthening.
Mhm.
You're becoming bigger, so it's gonna fucking hurt, and it makes teenagers emotional and moody. That's the same thing we're going through on SR. So don't look at this as a bad thing. Don't cave and go and run to
Mhm.
your little comforts like jerking off or you know binge watching porn or whatever it is in the past for you that you would run to escape the intense energy. It's like, no,
Mhm.
now we're breathing this energy in. We're circulating it. We're allowing it to upgrade us, to turn us into superhumans. It's a positive
Mhm.
thing. Embrace it.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Yeah, you did a fantastic job explaining that. Another frame of mind that I use when I'm going through like any type of emotional discomfort or pain. Pain is the currency to for the payment of growth. So if you're never really going through that pain or that discomfort, you're not growing. It's through the friction. It's like you're forging a sword. Like you're literally beating you're putting a sword into like a fiery kiln, and it's like thousands of degrees, and then take it out and then you hit it with a hammer, and then you put it back into the kiln again, and then you beat it with a hammer, and then you cool it down. Your life is a sword. Your life is a sword. And the thing is it's beautiful in a way because you're you can only see the finished product at the end, but you have the privilege to forge that sword now in the present. So if you can if you can put yourself in that frame of mind, I think people can put themselves through some shit where they didn't even think they couldn't, like where they couldn't think or see themselves doing something they really can. But you
Mm,
got to be open to it. You got to keep yourself open to it. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah.
But yeah.
It's like we ask God for growth. We ask God for a good life, and then God's like, okay, and proceeds to beat the shit out of you with a hammer again and again, just like smash you with a hammer for 5 years and put you in fire over and over again. And it's like, God, why are you doing this to me? Why are you
Hmm.
trying to kill me? Why are you making life so horrible? And God's like, hey, you asked for this. You wanted a
Hmm.
good life. I'm turning you into an absolute warrior. I'm turning you into to a super saiyan. Stop complaining. It's like we ask for our problems to go away, but God's like, no, I'm still fulfilling your original prayer here. I'm busy.
Hmm.
Let me do my work.
Yeah, dude, and I even think about it as like, how I think about God talking to me in that way is like, why are you even questioning what I'm doing? Like, it's having that undeniable faith that everything is working for your benefit because it is. It really is. There is always something that you can look out of in a sense of good that benefits your life in any circumstance you went through. And even like if you're in states of like survival mode where you don't have a lot of money, you're barely eating, you don't have a place to live, like it's crazy, but like if you can put yourself in that state of mind and detach from that and understand that you are never stuck. No matter what situation you get into, you are never stuck. You just got to have faith. You got to have faith in yourself and you will get out of it. It's real, bro. It's so real.
So let me ask you this question. We're just going to have this last couple of minutes, and then we'll close it off. And if anyone has any really high quality questions they want to throw to Tanner or myself, drop them now. Well, let me ask you this question: what is the most What is the hardest thing you've ever gone through?
Well, man, hardest thing I've ever gone through. Gone through some shit. Uh, without getting, well, I guess like the hardest thing I've ever had to experience in terms of like trauma would be when I was a little kid. I was probably like 4 or 5 years old. I had an abusive babysitter. So at a very young age, the survival instinct had to kick in. So like basically when I was young, a lot of the programming of the ego, the trying to survive was formed at that age. And that was probably the hardest thing I've had to deal with. I mean, I've had other things I've had to deal with in my life, but objectively, I would say that was probably the hardest thing I've had to deal with. Yeah.
Can I
So,
can I can I prod a little deeper and ask how were you abused? In what way?
physically, so physically abused. Also, like even like not only physically, but just like verbally abused. So like um, constant yelling, um, just just being afraid, like just like a constant fear, like almost like it's almost I equate it to like, like when you have like an abused dog or like an abused puppy and they have like that reaction to like almost like really have a hard time trusting what's going to happen. So they're in that constant like anxious, tense state. That's kind of how I felt all the time for basically like, um, 4 to 5 months of my life. And it got actually so bad to the point where my mother picked me up from the day or the babysitter, and my entire body was black and blue. And I got rushed to the hospital, and literally the doctor thought that my dad was the one that was responsible for my condition because there's no way a full grown woman could have done this because it was a woman that was my babysitter at the time. And what's what's interesting though is like even though that was the hardest thing that happened to me, I look back at it as it was one of the greatest in that the lessons in that part of my life that I didn't understand at the time, I understand now, and those have made me the person that I am. And if we want to go back into relationships, if I can go into this for a little bit, the husband with that woman knew what was going on. He was a submissive man. And so what I ask everyone in this that's listening in this live stream right now is imagine being the type of man, the submissive man, which you become if you don't follow, if you cannot have boundaries and just be masculine, is you allow a woman to basically beat a 4-year-old boy. Like imagine living with that, like because you're responsible for that. You're the man. You control that space. That is your space. You have the authority to stop that stuff from happening. And yeah, so that was probably the toughest thing that has ever happened to me. But I'm much better for it now. So
Thank you for sharing that, brother. I really
mhm.
appreciate you opening up like that. And I think we can all see your strength, and that's testament to your ability to let go, to surrender to what God has brought into your life, and
Mhm.
to keep going forward, no
Mhm.
matter what. No matter what, to allow everything that's happening in your life right now to make you better, to make you stronger. It's
Mhm.
powerful.
Thank you. Yeah, and yeah, absolutely.
All right, brother. Well, we just got one question here. Ryan Jamal. When I'm in the depths of despair, feeling like I have no hope in life and overwhelming rage, is letting go meant to make me feel lighter or just accept the heaviness?
Ben, can I answer this real quick?
All right, brother. Yes, letting go will make you feel lighter. But first, you have to go through it. It's like going on a bear hunt. You come
Mhm.
across this huge log. You can't go. I mean, you can't go through a log. All right, you come across a huge mud pit. You can't go around it. You can't go under it. You can't go over it. You have to go through it. It's the same with the despair, with the overwhelming rage. Letting go is actually sitting with that feeling, letting yourself feel the intensity of the overwhelming rage. Let yourself feel the rage. We're taught to believe it's not okay to feel rage. Feel the rage. Let your body be overwhelmed with that feeling of rage. Don't act out on it. Don't go and kill someone, but sit with it and feel it. Just burn through that feeling. And eventually you'll burn through all of that rage and you'll come out to the other side. There'll be more feelings. There'll be a different feeling, but it will be a higher feeling. Like you've been saying lately, Tanner, everything you sacrifice is making way for a higher value thing. So when you sit with the rage, you let go of the rage, you're making way for a higher emotion to come through. And eventually that will be peace, and you'll be left with nothing but peace. So I hope that helps, brother. Oh, we got David Hamelek in the house. We got some women on the call. We got Amanda, and I saw there was another lady who jumped on before. That's cool to see some girls in here. Malika, what's up? But guys, we hope you've enjoyed that. We got to get going now. Make sure you subscribe to Tanner's channel. That is at Tanner Wicks. Is that correct, bro?
Yeah, and I think the channel name is also Ascending Fire. So
awesome. Make sure you subscribe to Tanner. He's an up-and-coming SR vlogger, YouTuber. He's going to blow up very soon. So guys, thanks for being a part of this, and we'll see you on the next one. Much love, brothers.
thanks, Ben. Peace out.